Beware and watch your head, for today, on day 145 of the year of vlogging dangerously, we're watching Night of the Blood Beast. Yes, Night of the Blood Beast, the 1958 science fiction classic brought to you by the same man who made the Fantastic Four movie that I originally reviewed on day 3, was it, of movie May? Yeah, whatever. Roger Corman. Written by his brother Gene Corman. This movie is a phenomenal little piece of science fiction. It is, because it's that kind of, it wrestles with morality. It predated an actual event with something that could happen, and it did happen 3 years later. 3 years after this movie came out, Yuri Gagarin became the first man to actually officially go into space. And in this movie, The Night of the Blood Beast, 3 years prior, the movie, it's a very short movie, it's only an hour, but in this movie, astronaut John Baer is the first man in space. Well, he's the first man to go into a satellite in space, and then be dropped back to Earth. And he brings back aliens with him. Yep. Now, what I love is this. What I love about the aesthetic of this movie is that it was pitched as a horror movie, a horror sci-fi, and for its time, I can imagine it was quite horrifying. It had aliens, it had space travel and radiation and murder and all the elements of a good classic horror, but it wasn't as horrifying as to modern audiences. Obviously, it's not one of those horror movies that really has legs. The pitch line for this movie, the tagline on the DVD case, on the posters, on everything is, "No girl was safe as long as this headhunting thing roamed the land." The two women in the movie, spoiler, they survive. Never in the movie is there a scene where a woman has her, her jumpsuit ripped to the point where she's in her bra and screaming in terror. No, but that's on the DVD cover. At least the DVD cover I have. There is an older poster where it's the two women running away as the beast comes after them, and that is a little bit more accurate, yes. But the whole point of this thing is man goes into space, man comes back down, he dies. They recover his body. There's weird occurrences at the crash site. Suddenly nothing electronic works, and then he comes back and becomes the voice of the alien for the longest time in the movie. And it's a very well done and well executed movie, by the way, and of the era that I love, where it's theremins aplenty in that woo kind of soundtrack going on. Dig it, definitely dig it. I don't know why I don't watch more old school movies like this. The more of the crazy science fiction that by today's standards is horrible, but in the time it was cutting edge. This movie preceded actual manned space travel by 3 years. Up until this point, it was just chimps and dogs and satellites and stuff. And it was a true one of those mankind is on a self-destructive path and I only want to help you type movies. But they're awesome. They're great. And Night of the Blood Beast, the fun thing for me is that this was a challenge on my part to someone. When I first purchased two of the most horrible movies I ever viewed this month, that being Cool as Ice and the Fantastic Four movie, I said to the guy who I was buying them from, because it was a 3-for deal, I said to him, give me a movie that is worse than these two. And he went, done, and he pulled out this. And you know what? It's not worse. It's so much better because it was, for its time, a brilliant movie. And I can appreciate that in a grand fashion. So if you ever get your chance to get your hands on it, watch Night of the Blood Beast. It's definitely a quick watch. It's almost as short as an episode of one of your crappy shows you watch on TV. I know you watch crappy shows. I watch crappy shows on TV. So it's not going to take too much of your time to see a piece of cinema history. It was classic. It was fantastic. It had all those hallmarks. It had the theremin soundtrack. It had the crying woman, the brave men who shoot at everything in sight. It had the war vets. It had because war was still on the minds of a lot of people at the time, obviously. It had the war vets. It had women being strong. It had what was it? Fluoroscopes. It had a fluoroscope, and it had a horrible understanding of science, despite being science fiction, because, if magnetism wipes out your watch, and stops it, I don't know that it's going to start again as soon as you get out of the field, but okay. Maybe it's my understanding of science that's shitty. Anyway, that's it. That's been Night of the Blood Beast. I, as usual, have been the Zero Killer. If you have questions, concerns, comments, death threats, you know where to put them in the comment section below, and I will see you tomorrow with another horrible movie towards the end of Movie May. Oh, that seemed dramatic, didn't it?